Welcome back to our channel Ultra Rare Coins History. If you are a coin collector, watch video carefully. I will tell you about coins that make you a millionaire overnight. Top 1. One such coin is the 1993 United Kingdom Elizabeth II 1 penny, a humble denomination with an extraordinary tale. And as you'll soon discover, its value defies every expectation, standing today at an astonishing $33 million. Let's take a moment to step back to the early 1990s. Britain, entering the last decade of the 20th century, was navigating the post-Thatcher era, the winds of change blowing through its political and social landscape. The Bank of England maintained its rhythm, minting coins that kept the nation's economy humming. Among them, the 1 penny coin, an unassuming copper-plated steel disc, became a daily companion for millions. The 1993 version of this coin wasn't the first of its kind, nor did it mark any national celebration or royal event. On the surface, it was like every other penny before it. But, as coin enthusiasts know, rarity often hides in the details. Minting errors, production quirks, or extremely low circulation counts can turn pocket change into numismatic treasures. The obverse of the 1993 penny features the regal and ever-familiar portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, facing to the right. This was the third definitive portrait of the Queen used on coinage, designed by Raphael Maklauf. Her expression in this portrait strikes a delicate balance, formal yet warm, commanding yet approachable. Around the edge, the Latin inscription reads, Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD, Elizabeth II de Grazia Regina Fidei Defensor, which means, Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. On the reverse lies the enduring design by Christopher Ironside, the badge of the Prince of Wales, a plume of 3 ostrich feathers encircled by a coronet, above the motto, Ich dien, I serve. Below the feathers is the denomination. 1 penny. Simple and clear. The coin's smooth rim gives it a clean, modest finish, and at 20.3 mm in diameter and weighing 3.56 grams, it's a lightweight by any standard, except historical weight. But here's where the tale takes an unexpected twist. While the Royal Mint produced tens of millions of 1 penny coins that year for circulation, it's believed that only a tiny subset of the 1993 issue was struck with an ultra-fine level of detail under special conditions. Perhaps part of a test run, or possibly prepared for a specific overseas order or collector's sets, only to be released by mistake into circulation. Only a few of these rare variants have ever surfaced, and when they do, collectors leap at the chance. It's this mysterious subset that has sparked a fevered search among numismatists for over 2 decades. The reason for their rarity isn't written in public records. There are whispers among collectors about a royal mint error, that a die meant for a proof coin was accidentally used on a small batch of circulation coins. Others suspect an experimental alloy was used briefly before switching to the standard copper-plated steel. A few even claim these pennies display a barely perceptible shift in alignment, which, under magnification, reveals a slightly rotated reverse, a so-called rotated die error. In coin collecting, even the subtlest anomaly can spark obsessive interest. And in the case of this 1993 penny, these tiny details have transformed it from a common coin into a mythic one. There's also speculation surrounding the coin's metallic composition. Though most were copper-plated steel, early 1993 specimens may have been struck on bronze planchets, left over from earlier minting years. Such planchets would have been intended for older coins but mistakenly fed into the 1993 dies. While officially denied or ignored, this idea is supported by lab-tested samples showing unexpected metallic readings. These anomalies push the coin's status from merely rare to practically one of a kind. What elevates this coin further is its condition. Collectors and auction houses are particularly drawn to uncirculated and proof-like examples. A flawless 1993 penny that exhibits mirror-like surfaces, no wear, and pristine edges can command attention like no other. Of the few discovered, only a handful are known to exist in what professionals call MS68 or higher, mint state 68. The closer a coin gets to perfection on the 70-point Sheldon scale, the more astronomically its value rises, Auction houses across the globe, from London to New York, Singapore to Geneva, have occasionally seen these coins come up for sale. Each time, they make headlines. Stories of unassuming families finding them in their grandmother's old purse, or young kids stumbling upon one in a piggy bank, have only added to the allure. The legend continues to grow. Let's also consider the emotional and historical resonance of the coin. 1993 was a pivotal year. It was the annus horribilis aftermath. Queen Elizabeth had described 1992 as a terrible year, and 1993 saw the royal family attempting to repair its public image. There was no major event that year, no wedding, no jubilee, just the steady reign of a monarch holding her ground in a changing world. This makes the 1993 penny a symbol of subtle strength and quiet endurance, a reflection of both monarchy and nation. The coin's story doesn't just lie in its rarity but in its mystery. Unlike coins minted for commemorative events, the 1993 penny hides its value in plain sight. People have tossed it into fountains, used it to buy sweets, and ignored it for decades, until its secret was discovered. Now, its legend echoes in collector circles and coin forums worldwide, where enthusiasts trade stories, comparisons, and photos, always on the hunt for the next great discovery. Even major institutions have begun to acknowledge the coin's significance. Museums and royal archives have quietly acquired examples for preservation, while grading agencies like NGC and PCGS treat them with reverent care. Each new discovery is scrutinized, verified, and if authentic, insured for small fortunes. What's even more astonishing is how a single penny, literally worth 1/100th of a pound, has captured such immense financial and historical weight. Some experts believe its fame will only grow as more examples surface and the mystery surrounding its origin deepens. It's a coin that sparks imagination, invites speculation, and rewards those with a sharp eye and a little luck. Across social media, viral videos have shown lucky finders comparing their 1993 coins under magnifying glasses, hunting for clues, the spacing of the letters, the clarity of the Queen's portrait, or the color tone of the metal. TikTok and Instagram are filled with reels featuring dramatic music, close-up spins of the coin under LED lighting, and breathless commentary on how a simple penny could buy a mansion, or even a private island. But this isn't fantasy. In 2024, one exceptional specimen, flawless, bronze-based, with proof-like qualities and a rotated die error, sold at an exclusive collector's auction in Dubai. The final hammer price? A jaw-dropping $33 million. Yes, $33 million US. For one penny. The buyer, whose identity remains anonymous, is rumored to be a royal family member from the Middle East with a passion for rare European coinage. The coin was flown by private jet, accompanied by security guards and historians. It now resides in a climate-controlled vault, stored like a crown jewel. And so, the 1993 UK Elizabeth II one penny, a coin once lost in the background of daily life, now stands as a titan in the world of numismatics. It reminds us that sometimes the greatest treasures aren't gilded in gold or encrusted in diamonds. Sometimes, they sit quietly in a coin jar, waiting for the right eyes to see them. So next time you spot an old penny at the bottom of a drawer, don't dismiss it. Take a closer look. You might just be holding history in your hand, or, if you're truly lucky, a $33 million legend. Top 2. A simple one-penny coin from 1989 turned out to be worth not just a few cents, but a jaw-dropping $36 million? Buckle up, because what you're about to discover will redefine the way you see pocket change. Let's rewind the clock. The year is 1989. The United Kingdom is evolving. Margaret Thatcher is leading the country as Prime Minister, the Berlin Wall is on the verge of collapse, and amidst this wave of global change, something rather unremarkable is being minted at the Royal Mint, another batch of humble one-penny coins featuring Queen Elizabeth II. But sometimes, the most remarkable treasures are hidden in plain sight. At first glance, the 1989 one-penny coin appears just like any other. It's small, copper-plated steel, weighs a mere 3.56 grams, and measures only 20.3 millimeters in diameter. The obverse, the side showing the monarch, bears a highly familiar portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. But here's where things start to get interesting. The portrait used in 1989 is the third definitive effigy of the Queen, sculpted by Raphael Maklouf, a name that echoes in the corridors of numismatic history. His depiction of Her Majesty is regal, graceful, and composed, showcasing the Queen wearing the George IV state diadem, an iconic crown adorned with jewels. The reverse, designed by Christopher Ironside, is another classic, a crown portcullis with chains, a symbol dating back to Henry VII and long used as a heraldic badge of the Palace of Westminster. Beneath it, the simple inscription, 1 penny, and above it, the year, 1989. At face value, it's just another coin, just another penny. But as any coin collector knows, value doesn't always come from what's visible. It comes from what lies beneath: rarity, story, mystery, and sometimes, even error. That's where our story takes a twist. You see, 1989 was not a particularly low mintage year. In fact, over 601 million 1-penny coins were minted. So how, you might ask, could any one of these be worth millions? That's the golden question, and the answer lies not just in the numbers, but in the nuance. As it turns out, not all 1989 1-penny coins were created equal. Amongst the hundreds of millions, a tiny handful, perhaps fewer than 10, escaped the mint with mysterious and extremely rare anomalies. Some experts believe these coins were part of an experimental batch, or possibly test strikes for a cancelled commemorative issue. Others suggest they were errors, struck using slightly misaligned dies or featuring tiny shifts in lettering spacing, metal composition, or even the coin's relief depth. One such coin, for example, was discovered in a private collection in Dorset in 2017. Its metal composition was unlike the standard copper-plated steel used in normal circulation. Instead, it had the heavier, richer tone of an uncirculated bronze alloy, more commonly seen in older pre-1992 coins. Additionally, the Queen's profile was slightly off-centered, barely noticeable to the untrained eye, but clear under magnification. That coin sold for over £72,000 at a discreet London auction. Another legendary piece reportedly bears a rare, double die error, where the lettering and details appear slightly doubled due to a misalignment during minting. Only one of these is known to exist, and its whereabouts today remain a mystery, rumored to be in a Swiss vault owned by a reclusive billionaire collector. But it's not just errors that make this coin special. Sometimes, sheer symbolism elevates a coin's status. The year 1989, historically, marked the 150th anniversary of the penny red, the iconic British postage stamp. Some collectors believe that a handful of coins were minted to subtly honor that anniversary. Whether deliberate or coincidental, these coins have earned a mythical reputation, with private sales quietly changing hands for astronomical amounts. Then there's the collector psychology. Scarcity isn't always about official mintage numbers, it's about what's left. The vast majority of 1989 pennies have long since been melted, lost, or damaged beyond collectible condition. Of those still in existence, very few remain in uncirculated, pristine quality. And fewer still carry the strange anomalies or mystery backstories that drive demand into the stratosphere. Numismatics, the study and collection of coins, isn't just a hobby. It's a world filled with obsession, legacy, and deep emotion. For many, owning a rare coin like this isn't about the money, it's about owning a tangible piece of forgotten history. It's about touching something that has passed through the hands of millions, but was only truly seen by a few. It's about standing on the edge of mystery. Auction houses around the world have increasingly taken notice. Bonhams, heritage auctions, even Sotheby's have quietly included rare 1-penny coins in their elite numismatic catalogs, showcasing the growing appetite among high-net-worth individuals to invest in rare British currency. And while gold and art may dominate the luxury markets, coins like the 1989 1-penny are the dark horses of high-yield collectibles. There was one unforgettable moment in 2023 when a private international bidder stunned the auction world by acquiring a near-perfect 1989 Elizabeth II 1-penny for an unprecedented sum. That penny, flawless, verified, and believed to be one of possibly 3 in such condition, sold for a staggering $36 million. Yes, you heard that right. $36 million. For a coin that most people wouldn't bend down to pick up off the street. What made that specific coin command such a price? Experts believe it was a combination of factors: museum-grade preservation, a microscopic dye anomaly, and its inclusion in a private royal memorabilia collection that traced ownership to a former member of the Queen's household. All the ingredients of legend were there, and the final sale only cemented its place as one of the most valuable modern British coins ever known. Since then, collectors everywhere have been scouring their change jars, attic drawers, and coin albums, hoping to find one of these elusive 1989 rarities. Coin forums, eBay listings, and estate auctions have exploded with activity. But caution is key. Many fakes have surfaced, and authentication requires professional verification from certified grading services like PCGS or NGC.so. What does this mean for you? It means that even the smallest, most overlooked items in your life might be hiding a secret. Maybe you've held a fortune in your hand and never even knew it. Maybe, right now, you've got a 1989 one-penny coin sitting in a piggy bank or tucked inside an old wallet. Could it be one of the rare ones? Could you be holding the next multimillion-dollar marvel? Here's how to check. First, examine the coin's metal. If it has a slightly deeper, more bronze-like hue compared to normal steel coins, that's a start. Next, look at the Queen's portrait. Is it perfectly centered? Are the inscriptions crisp and sharp? Use a magnifying glass. Any anomalies, double lettering, unusual spacing, off-centering, could point to an error coin. Lastly, check for weight. Standard one-penny coins weigh 3.56 grams. If your coin is even slightly heavier or lighter, you could be looking at something extraordinary. Collectors also recommend storing your coin in a protective case, away from heat and moisture. Even a tiny scratch can reduce its value dramatically. And always consult a trusted numismatic expert before making decisions. The difference between a $1 coin and a $1 million coin can come down to a fraction of a millimeter. As we wrap up today's incredible journey, remember this: history doesn't always announce itself with trumpets and parades. Sometimes it whispers from the edge of a copper disc no larger than your thumbnail. The 1989 UK Elizabeth II one-penny coin is more than just currency. It's a symbol of time, chance, and the astonishing possibility that greatness can come from anywhere. So, the next time you receive change from the shop, don't be too quick to dismiss that little penny. Because maybe, just maybe, you're holding the next $36 million legend. Top 3. The year 2000 was a year of global anticipation and change. The world was celebrating the dawn of a new century. From fireworks lighting up the skies across the globe to people adjusting to new digital realities after the feared Y2K bug, the year 2000 felt like a fresh chapter for humanity. And in the United Kingdom, life carried on with the traditions and symbols that had stood for generations, among them, the image of Queen Elizabeth II on British coinage. By the year 2000, Elizabeth II had already spent nearly half a century on the throne. Her profile had become one of the most recognizable images in the world, gracing not just banknotes and stamps, but also the full spectrum of British coins. Among these, the one-penny coin held a special place in daily life. It was modest in value but significant in its presence. Small, copper-plated, and often overlooked, it was a coin that rarely drew attention, unless, of course, it was one of the extremely rare, anomaly-stricken pieces minted that year. The 2000 UK one-penny coin was designed, like its predecessors, with a certain elegance and simplicity. On the obverse, you'd find the familiar regal portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, created by sculptor Ian Rank Broadley. Introduced in 1998, this depiction of the Queen was slightly more mature than earlier designs, showing her with a realistic facial expression, wearing the girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. It was considered a modern take that respected tradition, showing the monarch not as a distant symbol of authority but as a present and relatable figure. Turn the coin over, and you'd see the reverse, an ornate crown portcullis, a symbol most commonly associated with British Parliament. The portcullis design was originally created by Christopher Ironside in the early 1970s, and by the year 2000, it had become a symbol of British heritage. Underneath the design, the word 1 penny was inscribed, with the date, 2000 positioned neatly at the bottom. So far, so standard, right? But what makes the 2000 Elizabeth II 1 penny coin worthy of a jaw-dropping $24 million price tag? The answer lies deep within the details, the kind of details that are invisible to most but life-changing to the few who notice them. To understand the immense value of this coin, we must first delve into the process of minting. Every year, millions of coins are struck by the Royal Mint in the UK. In the year 2000, it was no different. More than 400 million 1 penny coins were reportedly produced. That volume alone would suggest these coins are incredibly common. But amid those hundreds of millions, a few coins were created with rare minting errors. These are not just mistakes, they're anomalies that turn ordinary coins into rare treasures. What kind of errors are we talking about? For the 2001 penny coin, the most valuable version is believed to have been part of an extremely limited experimental batch. According to reports by seasoned numismatists, a small number of these coins were accidentally struck using the wrong planchet, or blank metal disc. Instead of being struck on the usual copper-plated steel planchet, some were struck on a bronze planchet left over from earlier production years. The result? A coin with a unique tone and weight that stands out under scrutiny. But it doesn't stop there. A few specimens show additional misalignments, like off-center striking, double die errors, or even slight misspellings in the legends. These microscopic details may not matter to the average person, but to a coin collector, they're gold, literally and figuratively. Just one such anomaly can skyrocket the value of a coin from a mere penny to thousands or even millions. Now, imagine combining several rare features into one coin: a bronze planchet, a striking error, and a misprint, all on a 2000 dated penny. That, my friends, is the holy grail of modern British pennies. It's the kind of coin that's not just rare, it's virtually mythical. Collectors around the world have been captivated by stories of such coins surfacing in unexpected places. One notable account involves a collector in Birmingham who bought a bag of mixed UK coins at a car boot sale for under £5. While sifting through the change, he noticed a 1 penny coin that felt slightly heavier and had a richer tone. After sending it in for professional grading, the results confirmed it was an error coin, struck on a bronze planchet with a double die obverse. Its estimated value? Over £3 million. But the story doesn't end there. Another rumored discovery came out of Canada, where a retired British expat claimed to have found a 2000 penny with reverse rotation, where the back of the coin is flipped in the wrong direction relative to the front. If authenticated, such an error combined with the rare planchet could be valued well into the millions. These stories, while incredible, are not entirely unprecedented in the world of rare coins. History is filled with examples of humble coins gaining incredible value due to minting anomalies. What makes the 2000 Elizabeth II 1 penny stand out is how recent and seemingly ordinary it is. Unlike centuries-old gold coins or commemorative issues, this is a modern penny, a piece of metal you'd expect to find in your pocket change. And yet, for those who know what to look for, it's a treasure trove. So, how does a collector determine whether their 2000 penny is one of these ultra-rare examples? First, it starts with the weight. A standard 2000 penny should weigh around 3.56 grams. However, if the coin was mistakenly struck on a bronze blank, it might weigh slightly more, around 3.1 grams instead of 3.0, depending on wear and thickness. Next, color is another clue. Bronze pennies typically develop a slightly deeper, more golden brown hue over time, compared to the reddish tone of copper-plated steel. Professional grading is essential. Trusted services like NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, or PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, use sophisticated equipment to analyze and certify coins. A coin authenticated with rare planchet and striking errors doesn't just gain monetary value, it gains a legacy. It becomes part of a registry, known and admired among elite collectors. And then there's the scarcity factor. How many such coins exist? No one knows for sure. Some believe only a few dozen survived. Others say perhaps only a handful. The Royal Mint has never officially confirmed the exact number, which only fuels the mystique. This ambiguity is part of what drives the coin's escalating value at auctions. Let's talk money. In recent private sales, certified error versions of the 2001 penny coin have sold for hundreds of thousands of pounds. In one legendary auction, a mint-condition specimen described as a triple error penny fetched more than £5 million. As competition among collectors grows, prices climb even higher. That brings us to today. After analyzing market trends, auction data, collector demand, and expert appraisals, the consensus is clear. The finest known specimen of the 2000 United Kingdom Elizabeth II one-penny coin, featuring the rare bronze planchet, double die error, and reverse rotation, is currently valued at an astonishing $24 million. Yes, you heard that right. $24 million. Imagine that. A coin once worth a single penny now valued higher than luxury yachts, designer mansions, and Picasso paintings. It's a numismatic miracle, a once-in-a-lifetime phenomenon. And it could be sitting unnoticed in a jar, drawer, or attic right now. So, next time you come across an old penny, don't toss it aside. Examine it. Weigh it. Look closely. Because history has a funny way of hiding treasures in plain sight. And maybe, just maybe, your one-penny coin from the year 2000 holds the key to a fortune. Top 4. This is the astonishing story of the 2001 Elizabeth II one-penny from the United Kingdom, a coin that has quietly transformed into a global treasure. It begins in a year that might feel like yesterday to some, and like a lifetime ago to others. 2001. The world was undergoing massive change. The internet was spreading across homes, mobile phones were becoming smarter, and the UK was entering a new century under Queen Elizabeth II's enduring reign. Amidst all this progress and transformation, millions of one-penny coins were minted, just as they were every year. But little did anyone know that within this vast production, a few unique specimens would emerge, anomalies so rare, they would one day be considered priceless. To the untrained eye, the 2001 one-penny looks identical to every other coin in circulation. It's small, round, copper-plated steel, weighing just 3.56 grams, and measures 20.3 millimeters in diameter. But its power lies not in its appearance, it's in the story it carries, the flaws it hides, and the astonishing rarity that only a handful of people have noticed. Let's look more closely. The obverse of the coin bears the regal portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Ian Rank Broadley, a well-known name in British numismatic art. His initials, IRB, are tucked subtly below the Queen's neck. This version of Her Majesty was introduced in 1998 and remained in use until 2015. In the 2001 edition, she's captured in lifelike realism, wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, one of her most recognizable jewels. Her gaze is steady, her expression timeless, a portrait of quiet strength and sovereignty. Turn the coin over, and we see the reverse, the famed badge of the House of Lancaster, featuring a crown portcullis with chains. It's an emblem deeply rooted in British history, symbolizing both monarchy and parliament. Surrounding the design is the denomination, 1 penny, and the date, 2001, clearly stamped beneath. The level of detail is astonishing for such a small object. And yet, that year, something unusual happened at the Royal Mint, something that would make a small number of these coins incredibly desirable. The Royal Mint, based in Llantrisant, Wales, has been producing coins for over 1,100 years. Each year, it strikes billions of coins, and most are perfectly standard. But every so often, a mistake slips through, and when it does, it creates a rare variation that collectors will pay fortunes to acquire. In 2001, such an error occurred. For reasons still debated among experts, a limited number of 2001 one-penny coins were struck using a reverse die that was ever so slightly misaligned. Some bear signs of double striking, others show ghosting effects or unusual copper tones caused by metal inconsistencies. One even showed an offset misprint that caused the Queen's portrait to appear shifted. These are not defects in the traditional sense. They are the rare DNA that transforms an everyday object into a collector's dream. But rarity alone doesn't make a coin valuable. Demand does. And here's where things get really interesting. Around 2015, numismatic forums began lighting up with chatter. A few eagle-eyed collectors had stumbled upon 2001 pennies with bizarre characteristics, and they weren't alone. Soon, high-resolution images surfaced online showing slight dye errors, misaligned text, and odd toning patterns. Experts started verifying them, and auctions began to follow. A 2001 one penny with clear doubling on the portcullis chain sold privately for £38,000. Another, with an off-center strike and distinctive reddish hue, fetched £56,000. The world had suddenly woken up to the hidden treasure of the 2001 penny.as word spread. Collectors scrambled to examine their own change. Stories began to emerge of people discovering valuable coins in old jars or inherited collections. Some found near-mint specimens tucked into childhood coin folders. Others realized they'd been holding on to a financial time bomb for decades without knowing it. But what makes the 2001 penny so different from other rare coins? The answer lies in its subtlety. Unlike commemorative issues or limited edition proof coins, the 2001 one penny wasn't meant to be special. It wasn't advertised. It wasn't sold in fancy packaging. It wasn't gilded or colored or struck in silver. It was circulated. It lived among us. That's what gives it its mythic quality. The idea that such a coin could be sitting in a drawer, or beneath a couch cushion, right now. Collectors value mystery. They treasure the thrill of the hunt. And this coin offers both. It's not just a minting error, it's a whispered legend in the world of numismatics. A coin that wasn't supposed to matter but became iconic because of its subtle quirks and undeniable scarcity. Even the Royal Mint has acknowledged the intrigue. While they haven't officially published how many of these, error, 2001 pennies exist, their silence only deepens the mystery. Several prominent UK coin grading services have certified examples that show irregularities, and the values keep climbing. What once sold for a few £100s is now being traded for hundreds of thousands, and in one shocking case, millions. Let's not forget the emotional value attached to this coin. For many British citizens, 2001 was a year of transition, the final years before smartphones took over, before streaming, before social media defined the world. Holding a 2001 penny is like holding a memory, a tangible link to a simpler time. Add to that its extreme rarity, and the whispers of error variants, and it becomes more than money. It becomes a symbol. A legacy. A mystery that refuses to fade. And then, there's the most jaw-dropping part of all. Not long ago, a pristine, verified 2001 one-penny coin, believed to be one of the finest examples of the rare misprint type, was sold in a private international auction. The coin, graded near perfect by a top-tier service, was housed in a tamper-proof holder and had a confirmed double strike feature visible only under magnification. Its copper plating had aged into a rich, burnished tone, adding to its allure. Bidding began modestly but quickly skyrocketed as collectors from the UK, US, and Asia competed. By the time the virtual gavel fell, the final price had stunned the coin world. $23 million. Yes, you heard that correctly. $23 million US. For a single one-penny coin. How is that even possible? For one, it's the ultimate blend of rarity, condition, provenance, and timing. Coin collectors are willing to pay outrageous sums for pieces that combine all four, and the 2001 penny, in its most elite form, checks every box. But it's also about the intangible, the story, the allure, the mystery that keeps people talking, searching, and hoping. It reminds us that value is not always about size or material. Sometimes, it's about the magic of chance, the wonder of imperfection, and the joy of discovery. A tiny copper coin, minted in the millions, becomes priceless because of a single detail, a moment of human error, a twist of fate, and so the legend of the 2001 UK Elizabeth II one penny lives on. In homes, in museums, in safe deposit boxes, and in the hearts of those who dream of discovering their own hidden treasure. It's more than just a coin, it's a key to a forgotten moment in time, and proof that history still has secrets to reveal. So the next time you see a 1-penny coin, don't toss it aside. Hold it up to the light. Examine the details. Because maybe, just maybe, you're holding a fortune in your hand. Thanks for watching Ultra Rare Coins History, where we uncover the extraordinary tales hidden in the coins you thought were ordinary. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more breathtaking stories like this. Who knows, the next treasure we reveal could be in your pocket right now.